All right, everybody, before we get into the video, I got some big news for you. I'm throwing an open house to celebrate getting into this new shop space, and you guys are invited. So it's gonna take place Saturday, September 30th. I already have an event set up on my Facebook page. I'll have it linked in the description. So head over there, mark going. I hope to see you guys there. But it's gonna be a really cool event. I have door prizes. We're gonna have food, drinks, trying to get Metallica. Haven't heard back from them yet. But I've also got a lot of cool people from the motorcycle and YouTube world coming. So we've got Ryan from Choice City Moto, Eric of Motorcycle Rewind. I actually have Jish coming from the UK who's gonna be filming everything here. Zach from Moto Mango, Mike Ace Cafe Bikes, Ryan from 113 Cycles, and hopefully Thomas from Mile Zero Racers is gonna be coming down. I'm gonna put the pressure on him right here. So anyway, it's gonna be a really cool event. It's gonna be a great time, and I welcome all of you to come. Hang out in the shop, see what I got, bring your cool cars and bikes, because we're gonna have a car show as well, and just be a part of it. It's gonna be a great time. But anyway, check the description. I'll have all the necessary links, and I hope to see you guys in September. But yeah, until then, let's get into the video. Okay, as you see, I have the Bandit 1200 here in the shop again. And as of now, I want to try to diagnose a strange kind of popping or clicking noise that I suspect is coming from the rear wheel. So went ahead and got some clips earlier. That's why I've got this nice sweet mount kind of like taped onto the foot peg there. But I was able to kind of pick up the audio from that thing, so I'll put those clips in now. Now this clicking that I'm hearing only seems to be when I accelerate from a stop. Once I get to about 30 miles an hour, it seems to dull down and eliminate itself completely. Now I did also put the transmission into second gear and start off from a stop. Still makes a noise, and what I was doing there is eliminating the possibility of it, say, being just like an issue with first gear in the transmission. So it does it with both gears. What I suspect is just over time, wheel bearings go bad. What I suspect is the carrier bearing on the actual sprocket, that or the wheel bearings actually going bad and having a little bit of play in them. And then say once you get up to like 30 miles an hour, the wheel, like the centrifugal force keeps it nice and aligned, which would eliminate the noise. Again, this is just a suspicion. But let's dive in and figure out what exactly is going wrong with this thing. I do already have a wheel bearing kit for this thing. We're just going to go ahead and do that and eliminate that as a possibility. Hopefully that takes care of it, but we'll be sure to do an inspection up front and make sure it's not just like the chain trying to jump or catch on anything, because it doesn't really feel like it should be doing that. The slack in the chain is good, and yeah, I hope it's the wheel bearings, because that's what we have to fix. Now we have the bike on the ground because when this thing's on the lift, I can't get it on the center stand as easily, so this is just the easiest way of kind of getting an assessment of the rear wheel. So trying to move this thing back and forth. I'm not getting any play that I can perceive. I can move the sprocket. So for the longest time, almost every motorcycle has what's called a cush drive, and this one is no different. So this is kind of detached from the wheel directly, and it's isolated with a couple rubber bushings to kind of eliminate the harshness from the actual engine, so it's not like a direct drive. And that just makes everything more comfortable, and especially like shifting and stuff like that, it makes it less harsh, makes things last longer. So naturally, you're gonna have a little bit of play. How much is too much? So this bike has 15 or 16,000 miles on it now. What I assume is the original wheel bearings, but this thing, it's a higher horsepower bike. A lot of torque, it has a lot of power. It's going to be really hard on those wheel bearings. So if they're bad, I would not be surprised. But we got to figure it out regardless. Now we can't move this thing sideways, we can't feel any play there, so I'm going to go ahead and spin this thing in neutral and see if we can hear anything or if it has any kind of tight spots in it. I do actually feel like I have that click in here when I go forward to back. Alright, so we got the bike up in second gear just to kind of lock the sprocket. Let's see if we got any obvious things wrong. Nothing super obvious. We might actually be experiencing that click, like I said, but I cannot confirm yet. So I'm probably going to go ahead and just pop off the chain guard here. We'll kind of dive in a little bit further, and eventually we will go ahead and pull the rear wheel off, and hopefully we'll find some bad bearings. So behind the cover here, I don't see any instances of the chain obviously hitting the guard. So looking at the chain slack right now, it is a little bit extra loose because there's no weight on the back wheel, but whenever this thing's on the ground, it feels correct. So maybe potentially as you just engage the clutch and it goes and tightens this end of the chain, this one gets some slack and just touches rubber dampener. I mean, maybe that's possible. I don't feel like the chain is excessively loose. We need to inspect the wheel bearings anyway, so we're just going to go ahead and pull it off. Hard to tell. I would err on the side of this bearing feeling smooth and how it should. So here you can see the cush drive. These pieces right here extend into these rubber isolators, and that indirectly couples the wheel. That bearing feels okay too. makes a little bit more noise. Up. I think I felt this one catching. Yeah, I think this one might be it. All right. Let's hope we're right. All right, now I suspect that this is the bearing that is potentially failing, that I might have had a tight spot in it. So I'm actually going to drive out the other one first. And to do this, what I normally do is I just take some random steel and I kind of sharpen a point on it, or at least a sharp edge, and I just use that. A bearing driver tool is something on my list, but I usually get by with these. There's one bearing. Lots of grease. Our bearing spacer, that is disgusting. What really sucks is since I'm kind of moving into the other shop right now, I don't even have a trash can in here, and I don't know where to throw all this stuff. Alright, drive out the other side. I don't know. Could be bad, might not be bad. Alright, question. What is the most consistently filthy job on a motorcycle? Is it anything to do with sprockets? Is it steering bearings? I still vote it's fork seals. Like, anytime I do fork seals, I could set up an Olympic-sized swimming pool to catch any droplets or whatever, and I would still get droplets somewhere outside of said pool. I'd always consistently make a mess. I don't know how. Anyway, we gotta get this bearing out, so I'm gonna pop the seal off and then we'll drive it from the other side. Also, the kit that we have from All Balls comes with all the seals that you need, so you don't have to risk like damaging these things. There we go. That was a spider that just ran off of that. Oh no, that bearing fell on that spider. That's not the way I'd want to go. Sorry, guy. I dislike spiders. That's unfortunate. All right, I'm gonna put this in the solvent tank. We'll get it cleaned up and further inspect it. So, hard to say what it is so far. All right, it's good enough. Oh my gosh. I just got this out of the freezer. Put a little bit of heat in the hub. All right. So this is the old bearing. I already disassembled it, as you can see. I cleaned it and then I put it in the lathe and just took off the outer, just a little bit on the outside. That way it can glide in and out, no problem. It's not going to get caught. And that is my bearing driver. Big old socket. Alright, well, we got the wheel bearings in, our seals are on. our seals are on. That's tricky to say for some reason. So now it's time to go ahead and get our sprocket carrier on. Before I do that, I'm going to put just a little film of grease where the cush drive is. I don't know, it's just something I've always done. Protect against squeaks and stuff. And I do have my spacer on the inside already mounted. And an extra hair. Okay. Alright, let's get this thing on the bike. Got our axle retainers. That's fine. Alright, now it's time to go ahead and set our chain tension and get this thing tightened up, and we're done. Now I know I'm adjusting this with the chain or with the wheel off the ground right now. Just want to experiment a little bit based off of stuff I read in the actual service manual. Now, to me, that feels a little tight. Let's see. All right, I will double check what I have found here. We'll go for a test ride. We're taking this Saturday and we're out testing these wheel bearings. Everything seems good to go right now. Now I'm conflicted because my heart and my brain tell me two different things. My heart tells me that one wheel bearing was in fact bad and that's what was making that clicking noise, but I feel like my brain is telling me that the chain was just maybe a little bit loose and that was causing some of the clicking and stuff going back and forth. So I don't know, regardless, we do have it in adjustment and we do have new wheel bearings, so we at least have a baseline to work from. And at the end of the day, what matters is that it's fixed and I feel confident and safe riding this thing. So today, like I said, we're just gonna play around with this thing and you know, go practice some corners. I'm also kind of testing out the new handlebars for the first time on more than maybe a few mile ride, and so far these things are fantastic. They really do not vibrate much, and then once you get up about 100 on the gauge, it's just completely still, like they're smooth as can be. So very happy with these. I love the position, and of course just kind of get used to the mirrors. But I've used bar ends in the past. It's not like it's a big, you know, challenge for me. So anyway, enjoy these beautiful Missouri roads. gear, pulling hills, slow speed. So I got to ride this bike for a while today and it seemed to perform perfectly well. I heard nothing from the sprockets, so I'm going to call that a fix. Whether it was a wheel bearing or the actual changes being loose, we'll never know. But regardless, it runs, it rides, and I'm super happy with it, so I'm just going to put some miles on it. But anyway, hope you guys liked this video. I hope to see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.